All right, girlies, you're hopping on here, clicking on this video because you want to reinvent yourself. But you're like, Bella, how do I do that? I want to become a better version of myself. I'm sick and tired of where I'm at in life. I'm tired of feeling like shit all the time. I'm tired of just feeling, and I don't have my stuff together. Oh, welcome, babe. I'm so glad you clicked on this video. We're going to talk about reinventing yourself in today's podcast episode. So hi, my name is Isabella. I am your host for the I've Got You podcast. And today we are taking a hard look inward. We are talking about how to reinvent yourself and become the best version of you. I know this is a perfect video starting off for 2025. I actually just made a video on, I posted that up a little bit ago. I'll have that pop up over here where we talked about habits, mindset shifts, goals, and so much more for 2025 to set yourself up for success. But one of those categories specifically I wanted to talk about was reinventing yourself. First, we're going to talk about why reinventing yourself actually matters. Then I'm going to talk about a personal story of mine, where I have come from and why I think you can do the exact same thing. We're going to talk about recognizing the need for change and reinventing yourself and how to do that. We'll talk about steps to embrace change, overcoming challenges, staying completely true to yourself, examples, and so much more, so that way you can actually approach this and make it happen. So buckle up, grab a snack, and do not forget to go and hit that subscribe button right now so that you guys can watch much more content just like this. So if you're someone who wants a fresh start, you want a new beginning, and you want to get yourself so much better, this is the perfect video for you. But for some of you guys, you're like, okay, but what exactly am I doing with this? What's reinventing yourself? So for me, the concept of reinventing yourself is essentially looking at every aspect of your life and going, all right, what sucks right now? What can I do about it? And how do I become the exact best version of myself as I know today? So I want to tell you guys a story real quickly because I think that this is a really good thing that I picture as progress and why I'm proud of reinventing myself. So I remember years and years ago, I would accept the bare minimum from any person when it comes to the dating world. I didn't have any self-respect for shit. I didn't have a good sense of self. In my opinion, I was a weak ass bitch. All right. I was weak. I was insecure. I needed to do a lot of work. A few days ago, I was out with a couple girls, and there was another girl in a group for like a bit of a distance, but we were at a bar, so I was overhearing their conversation. So this conversation was really interesting because this girl was talking to her friends and showing this guy off to her friends on her phone. She's like, this guy is so hot. I'm like, oh, like, I love hearing girls, with their hot boyfriends or whatever, like, yay. Suddenly I started picturing like it wasn't her boyfriend, okay? And she was going on and saying like, oh, this isn't my boyfriend, but he's really flaky. Like, he's just not really, you know what I mean? Like, he's not putting in effort into me, but he's hot, so whatever. And I kind of sat there, and my first instinct in my head was just like, just fucking dump him. There's a bunch of hot people out there, like, ew. And then I was like, wait a minute, that was me years ago. And I had that wake up moment of, oh my God, that was me years ago. That I was in that exact same position. I was thinking that same way. I didn't have certain standards for myself. I would excuse shitty behavior. I would just be like, I would accept just such bare minimum basicness. And that was because I didn't make certain shifts. And then when I realized I had problems and I reinvented myself, I completely transformed my mindset for everything and became such a better version of myself to where I love the version of me. And I want to tell you exactly how to do that. So we need to talk about why reinventing yourself truly to the core matters. This isn't just a social media trend, all right? This isn't just a TikTok thing of reinventing yourself, okay? The concept of reinventing yourself is to look at what's wrong and what you could do better so it can help you feel better as a person, maybe have higher standards, have more confidence within yourself. This is just making you feel like the best version of you. So I don't want you to perceive this as like, you're an awful person. No, this is let's look inward and let's just make our lives better. This is important because life is about evolving, right? You need to evolve and change as a person. Like, you're not the same person that you were 5 years ago, and that's good, right? We need to evolve and change. However, some of us evolve and change in a way that's actually exactly opposite of what we need to. And again, I am only speaking from like personal experience, okay, y'all? Like, when I tell you I've been there, done that, I have. So some of you might be incredibly insecure. Maybe you're struggling, with confidence. Maybe you were struggling in like the dating world and you don't have specific set standards. Maybe you're with a partner that cheats on you all the fucking time and doesn't respect you whatsoever. Maybe you're someone that is incredibly terrified of what other people think. Maybe you're really intimidated to go at what you love at work. Maybe talking to your boss directly about something, like whatever that is for you. There are many ways that reinventing yourself can impact those exact issues and make yourself to be the ideal version of you. That could be career shifts, lifestyle changes, mindset transformations, having better habits in life, facing your problems head on. Actually, maybe you're not procrastinating ascending anymore. Like whatever that looks like for you, that's what reinventing yourself is supposed to do. So we need to recognize the need for change, which is really difficult because a lot of you do not want to look inward. And if you think you look inward, it's almost, you feel like you're shit talking yourself. We are only looking inward to see what we can do better. So if you feel like you need a change, some of those signs may be you feel completely uninspired, you feel stuck, you feel disconnected, or you just don't feel like you were where you want to be in life. So some things I think you need to ask yourself is like, what do I truly want in life? What are some things that are holding me back in life from those things? And what am I bad at? Get a notepad or something and answer those questions. Honestly, answer those questions. As you're writing this down, I want to talk about how I reflected, how I did that back when I was 21 years old. So picture this. I just got out of a really bad relationship, okay? I actually didn't break up with this guy. He broke up with me. He was like the biggest piece of shit on this planet. Like biggest piece of shit you could think of, okay? Very abusive, horrible person. Bad guy. I was like begging for him to come back. 100% I was. I was so down bad for such a loser that wouldn't even wipe my tears from my face. Like he didn't care. He was an awful person, okay? Second of all, I didn't have a true sense of identity because I was living for everyone else. I was living around what other people thought. I was so like unsure of myself. I didn't know how to do things. I was like, oh, well, this person says I should do it this way. I should do it that way. Like I almost had like an identity for what my boyfriend wanted at the time, for what my family was picturing for me, what society was picturing for me. But I couldn't keep up with it. I was exhausted. I was miserable. I didn't feel like I was living for myself. I felt stuck and awful. So when all of that fell apart, that was when I had my big aha moment. That was when I went, oh fuck, right? I was rock bottom. I was sobbing on my bathroom floor. I also started realizing that when that person left me, I had a severe problem with being alone. I could not be alone. I felt like I had to dump my problems onto like my mom, or like I just wasn't handling things healthily. Wasn't capable of sitting with my own shit. And my way of coping was like, oh, I'm just going to be surrounded by a bunch of people and like I can numb it out that way. I didn't turn to like alcohol or anything, but I was unhealthily coping with things and I couldn't trust myself to fix it. And I literally vividly remember sitting on my bathroom floor and going, Belle, you have a fucking issue. And that's a really hard thing to do. That's a very hard thing for you as like, especially viewers, for you guys to go, I have an issue, I need to fix it now. How I perceived it is I went, all right, well, I am incapable of being alone right now. I am severely damaged. And that's not necessarily my fault because of what happened to me, but it is my responsibility. I have to fix it. I also realized I didn't have a lot of like good, strong identity within myself. I didn't really know what I wanted, who I was, what I truly did and didn't believe in. Like I realized I had so much shit I needed to unfuck. Even my personal style, confidence, actually like rebuilding my confidence again because so much was just destroyed by like maybe social media or the bad boyfriend or, all of that. I was at a crossroads here. I was like, all right, either A, it's always going to suck. I'm going to do exactly how I've been doing. I'm going to be miserable. I am going to not heal myself. I am going to have a lack of capacity to actually be on my own and not be in a relationship. Everything is just going to stay the same and it's going to suck always. Or B, I'm going to pick my suck. I'm going to pick my difficulty, as I like to say. And it's going to hurt, right? But I force myself to face my problems. I look at myself in the mirror and go, you have an issue, you got to fix it. And I do something about it. I don't just say I have a problem. I do something about the problem. So that could mean get into therapy, which I ended up doing. You are going to start really genuinely work on dating standards. What are you going to allow? Really understanding that it's okay to have boundaries. It's okay to not be cool when someone does certain things to you. It's okay to say, I deserve better and here's why. Have more confidence within myself. Like those were things that were so hard. That transformation started in 21. And even now there's certain things that I'm like adjusting within myself because I just think as, I'm getting close to 25, I'm a growing person. You might be in a position like that right now where you feel like you're at rock bottom and you're like, I don't know what the fuck to do with my life, but I know there's a lot that's going on that's wrong. I need to get out, okay? This is your sign. So what do you need to change in life? Literally take a moment and start writing down things that bother you. Yeah, what are some things? And you can go by the categories of like maybe your work, your self-identity, right? Maybe your friendships. You have really shitty friendships and you aren't with friends that treat you well. Maybe in dating, maybe you don't have a certain amount of standards in dating and you deal with a lot of stuff because you are just just not expecting more from someone. Maybe it is with your work. Maybe you're procrastinating severely. You're not looking at the internal issues. Write all of the stuff down because that needs to be your foundation of where you're going to begin. Now, you're not going to be able to tackle all of these things at first. That's not how it's going to work. You need to start small and work your way up, but start creating a list. When you read this list, you may sob, okay? Because I sobbed. I was crying a lot because I was like, I'm so fucking damaged. I have so many problems. This is going to take forever. It's going to take a second, okay? Feel your feelings fully. Feel the emotions and the stress and the anger and the overwhelmingness. I need you to freak out and then figure it out, okay? Freak out about your emotions and your feelings and, oh my God, I have all these issues. Something's wrong. That's okay. You can acknowledge that something is wrong, but you can acknowledge that this is the start to fixing it. I acknowledge that I had some severe issues, but I said, I'm going to make this different. I will be different from here on out. I will make this better. And I am able to sit in front of you and tell you this story. Bella in the bathroom couldn't even comprehend talking about this right now. So steps to actually embrace this change is, like I said, write these things down. Start maybe journaling about it. Start answering these questions. You can look up questions about like how to reinvent yourself, maybe some journal prompts or something else to look into, but really truly reflect on every aspect of your life. Because if you need a massive shift, you need to get very specific with where you're going to shift at, what needs to be happening with you. Second of all, we need to start setting intentions and look at where we're at now and where we want to end up. So for me, it was, I want to be a very, very confident woman. I need to literally be able to not look in the mirror and not have my first reaction go, ew, yuck. Like that, like, ew, fuck. That was my motivation. I wanted to be incredibly confident. I wanted to be able to motivate other people to do the same. I wanted to be able to get to a point where I felt so secure within myself and my self-identity. I wanted to have better dating standards. I wanted to get better with like having motivation to become like very educated. Just like, yeah, I wanted to be better in all areas. I wanted to have more hobbies. I wanted to become fucking icon and a dream woman. I wanted to become a woman that if younger me saw her walking across the street or had a conversation with her over coffee, I'd be like, holy shit, I would be in love with her. You need to do the same thing. What does that future person look like? What do they look like for you? What are they doing? What does their routine look like? Don't just base this off of like, she's just drinking green juices. No. Healthy, realistic things, because healthy, realistic is also loving yourself, having better standards, and being more confident. It's not always drinking a gallon of water and fucking eating salads all the time. Do realistic stuff. Maybe it is working out more. Maybe it is having better habits. Maybe it is having better self-love. If you need a little bit more guidance, again, here I'm going to start popping up lists of things that I thought I could do better on, and maybe this might inspire you. These are some things even that some of them I am still working on now. Some of them are old, some of them are new, but I am putting all of them on here of things I realized I had a problem with and what I was going to do. So I wrote down, this is the old version of me, and now this is the version I want to become. So now after that, we need to start figuring out how we're going to get to that point. Every single one of those things that you list off, we need to create a goal around that. So I talked about goals in a previous video of mine that'll have pop up over here, but with goals, you need to be very specific, you need to be reasonable, and you need to have an actual good game plan. If you have a lot of shit going on like I did, and I had like a billion things I wanted to fix about myself, it's not gonna happen overnight. Pick one or two. If you could do more, but be realistic so you don't disappoint yourself, because you're gonna mess up and things are gonna happen. But I want you to pick some of these things and what can you actually work on? How are you going to accomplish this? What are realistic ways that you're going to do? So for example, confidence, right? I was realizing, okay, shit, I don't have a lot of confidence in myself. I'm starting to lose it because of a lot of bad things that happened in that relationship. Well, how do I target that? Simply by making sure every time I talk shit about myself in the mirror, I immediately correct it. It was such a quick habit for me to say something negatively about myself. And so I thought, well, I got to train myself to do the exact opposite. And I literally didn't believe it at the time. I correct it every single time. I'm going to believe it and think it's true. And yeah, I literally go in front of a mirror every time. And the only time I say something funky about myself is when I'm being funny. I'm not meaning it ever. So I made an actual step of, this is what I'm going to do when this happens. This is what I'm going to do when I talk shit on myself. I'm not going to entertain it. I'm going to get rid of it. You need to get very actionable with your goals. If this happens to me next time, in order for me to practice that and build and hit this goal of becoming the best version of myself, I have to do X, Y, and Z. I am going to add in this to the equation in order to slowly build myself up to become the best version of myself. And while you're working on reinventing yourself and growing as a person, you need to make sure that you celebrate your wins and your successes. When you have a moment where you are like, you know what, actually fuck this, I am gonna leave this date, like this guy is not treating me nicely, I'm going, be proud of yourself. When you turn a bad situation into a, hey, I'm gonna handle this head on and I'm okay, be proud of yourself. When you are able to, for example, you're not drinking as much, be proud of yourself. If you are finally working out in the gym like 1 day a week or 2 days a week, be proud of yourself. Celebrate these wins, because you are not going to be able to do this if you don't celebrate yourself. You are honestly, you're going to be your own biggest cheerleader for a while, and this might be hard to hear, but you have to depend on yourself in order to become the best version of you, because no one's going to get it, right? No one's going to be there when you're absolutely just like feeling like shit, depressed at 2 a.m. by yourself. No one's going to understand that. You are within your own body. You're the only one that's going to comprehend it, and some people are not going to get what you're going through, but you have to be your biggest cheerleader and be proud of yourself for your progress so you can keep going, because you need to be your biggest cheerleader and supporter. So celebrate your wins, celebrate your successes, write them down, document them. When you hit and accomplish those goals of becoming the better version of yourself, you are so proud of old you. Like, oh my God, I remember looking at some of my old notes and things that I would write down and go, I can't believe that was me. I'm so proud of her because she got me to now. So celebrate your wins. And then next, another thing that I encourage you to do is when you're reinventing yourself, a very big thing is get rid of shitty friends, surround yourself with good friends and good family members and people. I cannot tell you how bad friends will impact your situation. They will. You have bad friends, you're not going to progress really good in life. And I know that might sound really bad, but it's the truth. You are who you surround yourself with. If you're not doing good, if you're feeling really shitty, and if you're surrounded by people who don't give a fuck, who aren't treating you good, doing a lot of self-destructive behaviors and they don't even want to fix it themselves, then you're going to have to distance yourself from that. Your surroundings do absolutely impact you. And I know that totally changes if you were someone who's stuck with living with family. I get that. There's nothing you can do about that. Try to surround yourself with positive people. Having a group of women that are around me who, if I were to tell them a goal that I have, I would be met with nothing but positivity and love. That's what you deserve in life. Those friends could be a part of help holding you accountable. If I were to tell my friends, hey, I need you to help hold me accountable with not dealing with shit from a guy. So if I'm telling you about a date that I went on and you see a red flag, are you able to participate in reminding me of my worth? I'm really trying to work on that right now. If I told my friends that, they would be like, fuck it, I'm on it. They would help me out. They would tell me why I deserve better. That support system, I think, can really aid in the reinventing process of yourself, with knowing that you have support, knowing that you're loved, and knowing that you can do better and you are doing better with your journey. So find good friends, get rid of the shitty ones. I know it's hard, but you will feel a drastic lifestyle shift and change by getting rid of the bad people in your life and finding good people. So the next thing is overcoming challenges. You are going to really struggle with reinventing yourself because it's a very hard thing and it's not something you're used to, because we're watching this video right now and we know we need it, okay? We need to reinvent ourselves and make those changes. So how do we overcome the struggles? One of the biggest things that I struggle with reinventing myself was fear of failure. I would go back into bad habits. That's another thing, and a support system. So fear of failure, I've had this conversation before. You need to perceive failure not as I fuck up, I've messed up, and all the world's going to end. Perceive it as a learning lesson. Every single time you mess up, you look at it and say, okay, well, what can I learn from this? Because reinventing yourself and becoming better is not linear. I literally in 21 said, I'm going to do better with dating, right? I dumped someone several months ago because they weren't a good person. I messed up slightly because I didn't see certain red flags sooner. That's okay. Shit happens. I think it's great though, because either way I learned, right? I did it. The universe gave me the same situation and I don't perceive it as failure at all. I perceive it as the universe said, hey girl, are you going to do the same shit you did 4 years ago, or are you going to do what we've been practicing for years now? I was like, I'm going to do what I've been practicing for years. I'm dumping this person and I'm learning. That is amazing. So if you mess up, if you're like, damn it, man, I really shouldn't be texting this ex back and I did, okay, then it stops here. That's okay. We need to reevaluate. What can we learn from this? How did that negatively hurt you? How can we do better? What would our future version of us do? Okay, our future self would not do that. All right, let's not do that. Let's block. Let's move on. Damn it, I was talking shit on myself again. Okay, what are we going to do next time? How are we going to catch ourselves? What are we going to do to set ourselves up for success? Perceive messing up as a way to simply learn and improve, and take it seriously. Don't just casually, oh, well, fuck, whoops. Take it seriously. Hold yourself accountable and be disciplined in this change. Change is incredibly uncomfortable, but that's where growth happens, and that's where your life becomes so much better. Sometimes you fuck up, sometimes you get back into old habits, but make sure to remind yourself of your why. Why are you doing this again? You're doing this for you. You're doing this for your future self. You're doing this so that way you can have a better life and experience in this one life you have. You are doing this so you can become better. That's why. Another part of reinventing yourself is make sure you are staying true to you. I don't want you to perceive reinventing yourself as I'm becoming someone that's not me. The goal is to be you, just be a better version of you. And whenever life gets hard, whenever things get really tough and you're like, fuck, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can keep these habits up anymore. And do you want to be dedicated to the version of yourself that's here now? Or do you want to be dedicated to the version of yourself that you can have, that you can experience? Because when I'm telling you, I would pick that hard journey over and over again because it's led me to the now. I've been there. I've done that. I get it. So stay disciplined and stay strong. We have learned many, many things in this video. We need to make actionable plans. We need to be proud of ourselves. We need to work really hard at reinventing ourselves, but that doesn't mean turning into Bethany down the street. We need to just turn into a better version of ourselves. Last reminder that I want to give everyone before we just close out this video is this is going to take a bit, okay? This is going to be a very hard process, but just like if you go to the gym consistently for 3 months or 6 or, for years on end, you're going to inevitably see change. So when this is hard for you, when you're like, you feel like you're still failing and you're not good enough and this is incredibly hard, just know that there is change, but you have to be dedicated and keep going. And you're going to notice it, okay? And there's going to be one point in your life where you finally look back and go, holy shit, I can't believe I did that. Like, I can't believe I finally, developed standards for myself in dating. I can't believe that I'm finally, maybe I'm going to the gym. I can't believe I finally went after that one goal that I was looking for. I can't believe I'm the version of myself that younger me dreamed of. You are absolutely capable of it. You are so ready. I just know it. If you're watching this video, you're ready. You're beyond capable. You are so ready to make a change with this. And I'm beyond proud of you for being here. You've got this. It's going to be difficult, but trust me, this difficulty is worth it because it is way worse sitting in the exact same mess and sadness that you've been in for a while. You deserve this. You deserve a good change. You deserve this positivity. You deserve to make these changes for yourself, and your future self is going to thank you. So a wonderful exercise that I think everyone should do is just go quickly and write down 3 things that you love about yourself that you want to keep, 3 things that you want to grow. What are 3 things that you're like, I like this about myself. I like this about my life. And then 3 things of, I think we could do better on this. That is a good start to this as well. Lock in, babe. Look over that list of what we made of things that you're struggling with and things that you can get better at, what you can do. Realistically, slowly chop through that list and work on it. If you guys are interested, comment down below something that you want to do or maybe some aspects of yourself that you want to reinvent. I would love to hear. Maybe there's something you guys can relate to with my story even. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you guys want to watch more content like this. And I will see you guys in the next episode of I've Got You. Also, do not forget, by the way, if you can, I would love you so much if you could do this. Go on to Spotify and review the podcast and give it 5 stars. I would love that. I would love that so much. I do have a goal of trying to grow this podcast as much as physically possible here on Spotify and on YouTube. So that would mean the utmost world to me if you're on YouTube, going to Spotify and reviewing, or if you're already on Spotify, that would be so good. But comment down below how this video helped you and if there's any other things or questions you have, and I will get back to you soon. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Happy January, guys. Bye.